Say, if at first you get sued and have to pay out $25 million, not only is he dishonest, he's not too bright.
Growing in rain.
Phone call from my man Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy said if Floyd accepts the challenge, that he'll put it on the actual show.
There's no way this man is broke. There's no way.
Yeah. If he is, I don't know where the money went to.
Exactly.
Floyd Mayweather lost his cool after Jimmy Kimmel called him out on live TV, questioning his constant exhibition fights and money-making moves. Kimmel joked about Floyd's obsession with chasing paydays, which clearly didn't sit well with the undefeated champ. The heated moment shocked viewers and left fans buzzing about the unexpected clash.
Pose for this, or was this just...
I guess it's something that they just made up.
Something made up. Do you think they're going to paint over that when it goes as everyone seems to think it's going to go?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. You should buy that gym from him and knock it down with a wrecking ball.
We can do that.
That would be something you could...
We can do that.
You could potentially make... How much money could you reasonably walk out of this fight with?
350 million.
$350 million.
Yes.
Wow. I know you love money, right? I mean,
it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
Jimmy Kimmel's tough questions only made things worse, pushing Floyd even further. But beneath all the flash and luxury, real issues were starting to show. Financial experts have warned for years that reckless spending, bad investments, and no steady income can drain even the biggest bank accounts. And for Mayweather, those warnings might finally be catching up to him.
This is from Instagram. You're on what looks like a private plane, just with a whole...
No, my private plane.
Your private plane, sorry. With a whole lot of money, and it looks like a couple of bowls of ketchup, maybe, also.
No.
Are you eating this money?
Those are cup holders.
Oh, those are cup holders, okay.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't have a private plane.
You didn't flew on.
What do you do with all this money? I mean, like, do you actually use it? I mean, are you using the cash?
And, you know, cash is king.
Do you have an ATM card?
I'm the human ATM.
Floyd Mayweather was recently seen in New York City, pointing at buildings and claiming he owned several of them. While he appeared to show off his success in real estate, that story didn't hold up for long. Investigators found that most of the properties he mentioned weren't under his name or tied to any of his known businesses. This only added to the rising doubts about his financial situation and how much of his public image is just for show.
What the hell is going on with Floyd Mayweather, man?
Man, do we got money or not? I don't know what's going on.
I'm lost.
Man, I seen, I think Stephen A was talking about he was bankrupt.
See, I know he came out with this commercial talking about he just invested in this deal that's worth like $402 million that's dealing with 60 apartment buildings.
Yeah, I heard the nigga bought half of New York.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And so he walking down the street of New York. Yeah, I own that one. I own that one.
I seen that too.
So some people reached out to the agencies that he's connected with about this deal, and they said no comment.
Let me say something. I got a question. Niggas is nosy for no reason.
Nosy as hell.
What? What I'm reaching out to these people about they deal for?
We want to talk to you about the Floyd Mayweather deal. No comment. But they say his name ain't on no paperwork or nothing.
I seen him on something. He look like a bum.
Floyd?
He was looking like a bum, like he ain't shaved in months.
Oh, yeah, I seen that too.
There's no way this man is broke.
Too.
There's no way.
Yeah. If
he is,
I don't know
where the money went to.
Exactly.
Aside from money troubles, Mayweather has also faced serious legal battles over the years. One of the most concerning involves lawsuits from ex-girlfriends accusing him of emotional abuse. These cases have only added to the controversy surrounding him, building on a reputation already affected by past accusations. The lawsuits weren't minor either. They included detailed claims that pointed to a troubling pattern, not just one-off incidents. These ongoing legal issues continue to follow him, making it hard for Mayweather to move past a legacy marked by controversy.
Floyd Mayweather, real quick, okay? So somebody sent me a lawsuit. I gotta go through the details. But apparently, a few of his girls, strippers at Girl Collection are suing him for loss of wages, okay? Now, I wasn't gonna pay attention to this because I was just like, well, how are y'all strippers and you suing him for loss of wages? I'm trying to figure that out. Like, you get your money from the Patriot. What does he have to do with your money? And so somebody put a little bird in my ear. They said this was the beginning of the lawsuit. Okay, they're gonna be adding more allegations of harassment and all this stuff. And I was just like, no, hold up, no, you worked in a club. And so apparently there's more to come. All right. But here's my thing. I was like, the last person that filed a lawsuit against him, alleging anything, where's she at? Anybody seen her?
A recent video surfaced showing Mayweather shelling out huge sums to rent luxury mansions, homes he doesn't seem to need or actually live in. His choices appear more focused on keeping up appearances than making smart, practical moves. Critics say these over-the-top expenses look less like savvy decisions and more like a desperate effort to hold on to a wealthy image. For someone who calls himself a financial genius, this behavior seems more reckless than strategic.
Floyd Mayweather just signed a deal to lease an apartment in Midtown Manhattan. He's going to be paying $100,000 per month for this place. Here's the apartment, you guys. It's got 5 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms, 4,000 square feet, and the place is pretty epic, I'm not gonna lie. The description says that this is a double unit and it is a corner unit, so you got a ton of natural light in here. Do you think this place is worth $100,000 per month? Why would Floyd spend $100,000 a month on this apartment? If I had to guess, it would be a combination of owning something is just kind of a liability. Plus, I'm pretty sure whenever you rent a place versus buy a place for business purposes, you're able to write off more of that lease payment. So if I had to guess, that $100,000 per month is going to be a pretty big write-off for him based on how he plans to use this place.
In what many viewed as an attempt to do damage control, Mayweather posted a video highlighting his real estate portfolio across the U.S. He claimed he's now focusing less on flashy homes and more on commercial properties that generate steady income. The video seemed intended to calm concerns, framing his recent sales of luxury homes as part of a bigger shift towards smarter, long-term investments.
Floyd Money Mayweather is at it again. This time, not in the ring, but in the real estate market. The undefeated boxing champ just sold his Miami Beach mansion for a jaw-dropping $22 million. Let's break down the numbers and see why Floyd's still living up to his nickname. Mayweather originally bought this stunning waterfront property in 2021 for $18 million. Fast forward 3 years and he's walking away with a cool $4 million profit. Not bad, right? And here's a fun twist. The buyer is taking on a $13 million mortgage, which comes with monthly payments of nearly $99,000. Now, let's talk about the mansion itself. It's a 3-story masterpiece, spanning over 9,000 square feet with 9 bedrooms and 3.5 bathrooms. But the amenities? Next level. A 5,000 square foot rooftop with panoramic views.
In 2017, Mayweather made headlines by flashing a $100 million uncashed check during a press conference, aiming to shut down critics who doubted his wealth. The check was from his blockbuster fight with Manny Pacquiao, and he proudly waved it as proof that his fortune was untouched. While the moment was bold and unforgettable, it also raised eyebrows. Many wondered why such a massive check had never been deposited.
He's like the Floyd Mayweather of the MMA, the UFC.
I didn't know Conor McGregor was undefeated. I didn't know that he had a reign in MMA for 20 years and undefeated, and was world champion in 5 different weight classes. That's something I didn't know.
Yeah.
So I guess you guys telling me something new. If you say he's the Floyd Mayweather of the MMA.
Well, do you
I mean, if you're saying he's the Floyd Mayweather of the MMA, I'm trying to find out. Have you ever made $300 million in one night? Have you ever made $100 million in one night? Have you ever made $70 million in one night? So, as far as trying to say that he's the Floyd Mayweather of MMA, I mean, it's okay to just to say it, but it's not true. I'm a legend, a living legend. You know, I gave just sport of boxing. I gave years and years of hard work. It was blood, sweat, and tears. Had a tremendous team. Had a tremendous run. I think that it's time for Conor McGregor need to go out there and do what he do. But never compare Conor McGregor to me. That's a total disrespect. I mean, once again, I'm an elephant. Elephant don't beef with ants. You know, elephant is so large you don't even see ants.
Mayweather has always stood by his lavish lifestyle, saying it's the payoff for a lifetime of hard work. He often brings up his tough upbringing, framing his wealth as motivation, not arrogance. But not everyone sees it that way. Boxing icon Mike Tyson once said Floyd seemed a bit too into himself, hinting that all the self-praise might be crossing the line into delusion. Tyson's words reflect what many fans and athletes feel, that Mayweather's non-stop display of riches, especially during tough economic times, feels more out of touch than inspiring. To some, it comes off as narcissistic rather than motivational.
What lessons do you think Pacquiao and Mayweather could learn from you in terms of life away from the ring?
Well, Floyd seems to be going through some stuff like me right now, you know, like realizing no one's his friend and everybody's probably, even though I even hate to say it, because maybe everybody's kind of a little jealous of him, you know, because he is Floyd Mayweather. I know these other guys got their money, but this guy is the champ of the world, you know. It's hard to compete with that. So he's pretty big on those scales as far as on the celebrity scale. So he's gonna realize what life is all about and what friends are all about, and realize that we only have a few of them. And sometimes they're the only ones we got. They may not be the ones we want, but they're the ones we have. You know, sometimes we want to have glorious, glamorous friends, but they don't want to be our friends.
Mayweather's need to prove his financial superiority showed up once again when he compared his earnings to Anthony Joshua's. He bragged about making $74 million in gate revenue without relying on large crowds. While that claim was technically true, the tone felt defensive. Analysts saw it as another example of Floyd's jealousy and his constant drive to assert his dominance over newer, more popular fighters.
He said in particular, and then there was also some footage that dropped a couple hours ago on IFL TV that, you know, is the reason I'm making this video. He made some comments about Anthony Joshua and compared, you know, I guess, you know, his, you know, because, you know, he talks about his money a lot, so he compared, like, I guess, his fight with Pacquiao to Anthony Joshua, and he was saying, like, you know, basically they didn't need 100,000 or 90,000 people to do X amount of dollars. You know, here, I'm gonna let you listen to it. Here's what he had to say verbatim. Here's what Floyd said about Anthony Joshua.
Talk about that. I was in the Guinness Book of World Record for breaking all the records. You didn't tell him that?
Of course you have.
For generating, what, billions in the sport of boxing, that, or having the fastest sellout crowd. But I mean, and, you know, those guys done, you know. And I was watching a fight when I was at my Miami house. I was at my Miami home. I was watching a fight with Klitschko and the guy Joshua, and they said that this is electrifying, sort of like the Pacquiao and Mayweather. And I said, well, we didn't have to have all those hundreds of thousands to do a $74 million gate. So, and like I said before, but those guys put on a hell of a show. Like I said before, you know, I'm just on another planet, and you definitely know it, because you've been around for years, and you see the same thing over and over and over again.
All right, so there you have it. Mayweather basically saying that, you know, he's on another planet and all this stuff, and that, you know, they didn't need 90,000 people and all this stuff. But, I mean, let's look at it like this.
Oscar De La Hoya, Mayweather's longtime rival, has called him out for hypocrisy. De La Hoya pointed out that Mayweather often mocks YouTubers and crossover fighters like Ryan Garcia, yet he himself has made millions from the same audience. While Floyd criticizes others as just influencers, he's been cashing in from exhibition matches against social media stars, which seems to contradict his own standards.
Talking about skid Ryan Garcia. Tank got his followers from kicking. Ryan Garcia got his followers from YouTubers. There's a difference. So you want to be a YouTuber or you want to be a fighter? Tank is a fighter.
What the fuck? So Ryan Garcia's not a fighter? He's been fighting since he was 7 years old. He has 200 plus amateur fights. I don't care where his followers come from, if they come from fucking Mars. The fact is that Ryan's followers are selling this fight. And plus, don't you remember you fought YouTubers? Are you putting YouTubers down? You profited from them. I can't with you, dude. You're fucking dumbass. I can't wait. April 22nd, Ryan Garcia fucking knocking out Tank Davis.
De La Hoya and others feel that Mayweather might be craving attention or money. His constant media appearances and controversial statements seem timed to grab the spotlight and spark public interest. Since retiring, Mayweather's career has been focused on exhibition matches, easy paydays against non-professionals. He's fought YouTubers and MMA fighters, taking on minimal risk while reaping huge profits.
Floyd is somebody since I'm 8 years old. This was my idol. It is a tremendous honor, but make no mistake, June 11th, I'm bringing bad intentions to that man, and I don't care if an exhibition or not. You signed to fight me, it's no quarter, so it's kill or be killed.
Another big event, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a crazy crowd, I'm pretty sure, but I've been here so many times, you know, I've been fighting since 1987 to now, so I know what it takes when, you know, at any level, so I'm just happy to be here.
I watched every one of his fights. I've never seen anybody throw combinations with the intent and the speed and the accuracy of that man, and I was captivated from that night on. So I've been Team Mayweather since I'm 9 years old, but like I said, when it's time to get to business, we're gonna get to business, and we're gonna fight.
I will continue to have fun, entertain, until I'm ready to say, you know what, enough is enough.
While Mayweather defends these exhibition matches as just for fun, boxing purists argue they cheapen the sport and turn it into a spectacle. Oscar de la Hoya slammed Mayweather's fight against John Gotti III, calling it embarrassing and a stain on Floyd's legacy. He urged Mayweather to stop these matches before they cause irreversible damage to his image.
Floyd Mayweather fought another exhibition against Gotti last Saturday. A real the crowd booing in the arena at the end. But in the middle of the second round, Floyd literally had the referee swapped out. He didn't like that the referee told him to stop hitting behind the head. Floyd is used to having the refs do whatever he wants, and he wasn't getting his way this time. It was so embarrassing. Floyd, you're 50 years old. You're a legend in the sport. I've stood up for you in countless interviews, including Shannon Sharp's podcast last week. But you have to stop embarrassing yourself with these exhibitions. I know life is hard. I know life is expensive. But come on, dude, put your legacy first. Nobody wants to remember you like this. And it gets worse. Your jeweler filed a lawsuit against you in Miami. And many are saying you're gonna have to sell off your assets. I hate seeing this happen, bro.
In a resurfaced moment, Jimmy Kimmel joked about giving Floyd a reading challenge on air, bringing up a long-running feud with 50 Cent, who once dared Mayweather to read a page from Harry Potter. Clips of Floyd struggling to read only fueled damaging rumors about his literacy. While Mayweather dismissed the criticism, claiming reading doesn't define success, it became another point of debate about his credibility. On top of this, his legal history includes multiple convictions and arrests, which starkly contrast with the polished image he tries to project. Fans and commentators are left questioning how someone with so many red flags continues to remain in the public eye without facing more scrutiny.
Will Smith just publicly thanked Floyd Mayweather, but a lot of people are calling him out for that. And where it all began was right after Will Smith slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars, which Will Smith said almost ended his career. With Will Smith apologizing, getting a 10-year ban from the Oscars, and he said many celebrities would not return his calls. And the only exception was Floyd Mayweather, who called up Will Smith every day for 10 days straight. With Will Smith saying that the only reason Floyd Mayweather called was just because he wanted to make sure he was okay. And Will Smith said before that he only met Floyd Mayweather a couple times before, calling him an acquaintance, but now would call him a friend for life. I don't think Will Smith should be saying this because Floyd Mayweather was arrested in 2002 for punching 2 women at his nightclub. And due to that, he had a 1-year suspended jail sentence in 2004. And then he was arrested again for assaulting a bouncer at a nightclub, getting another 90-day suspended sentence. Then was arrested for beating up his ex-girlfriend Josie Harris. His son, when he was 10 years old, testified against his father, saying he was assaulting his mother. So Will Smith is not a bad guy, but clearly made a mistake at the Oscars, and it's not a good idea for him to go befriend Floyd Mayweather. Because life's ultimately about who you associate with, and with that, I'm Charles Pearl. I hope you learned something.
Boxing legend Roy Jones Jr. recently took aim at Mayweather's legacy, saying he changed the sport's priorities. While Mayweather made great money, Jones pointed out that he did it for himself. According to Jones, Floyd's focus on wealth over honor has shifted boxing's culture from building a legacy to chasing profits, a view many frustrated boxing fans share. Once a symbol of success and invincibility, Mayweather's image is now starting to crack. Despite his undefeated 50-0 record and massive earnings, the accusations, lawsuits, spending habits, and questionable behavior have left many questioning his true legacy.
Not because he did a great job, but he did it for himself, and it worked for him. But everybody now wants the Mayweather concept, because Mayweather made so much money, staying undefeated, waiting till the right time to fight Pacquiao, finding the right people to fight at the right time. He monopolized the business. But the problem was, it only made him money and the people he was fighting. It didn't make money for the whole sport. So what he did himself a great job, but it hurt the sport. because not everybody wants to fight, stay undefeated. You understand me? Me, it's like when two guys get here, they gotta meet. No, wait. They was here 5 years ago. They should have met. You understand me? Because now, we probably could have got 3 good fights out of it. You understand me? But because we waited too long, the problem what people don't understand is, tomorrow's not promised to nobody. Guess what?
Floyd Mayweather is now facing serious challenges, with allegations of a $42 million theft threatening to shatter his untouchable image. His trusted security figure, Big Adam, is in the spotlight as investigations unfold, and both fans and critics are beginning to question if Mayweather's empire is more fragile than it seemed. Despite being one of boxing's biggest names, Floyd's legacy is crumbling under a pile of scandals. From questionable investments to exhibition gimmicks, his credibility is taking hit after hit. Once respected for his skill, he's now viewed by many as a fallen icon, desperately clinging to relevance and exposing the cracks in his once impressive empire.
Big Church being from Vegas, he had, went back to Vegas and Floyd had picked him up. And so it was around late December, he had hit me and said, "Hey man, Floyd is getting rid of one of his dudes. If I can get you over here, would you want to work?" And just me wanting to change the pace at the time, I was like, yeah, hell yeah. So Floyd was coming down to playing a celebrity game with the Team Watson. And so it was like December 14th or something like that. So I asked one of the dudes to cover me, and I went over to the Van Nuys airport and met him. And so, Church had already told him about me. Big Mark, rest in peace, had told him about me. And so when I met him at the airport, he got off the plane. He looked me up and down, was like, "Big Church, you good?" And he's like, Church was like, "Hell yeah." And he's like, "Big Mark, you good?" He's like, "Hell yeah." He's like, "All right, yeah, he on." Yeah. So I started with Mayweather December 28th, 2007.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned for the next one.